Alright y'all, today's the day I show you how to make a wizard hoodie because I thrifted this really cute poncho and the hood was alright, but since I have a lot of dreadlocks, it just wasn't doing it for me. So yeah, let's get to it. For this tutorial, you're going to need just a basic sewing machine. You're going to need a cutout of a hood, and then you're going to need sewing chalk or just like a washable marker, sewing pins, and that's it. So first of all, if you don't already have like a hood cutout, you're just gonna basically cut the hood off of a hoodie so you can use it as a template. I'm just replacing my hood from my poncho, so I'm cutting out my hood for my poncho and then also using that as a template. And make sure you cut around this stitching as close as you can. Now that you have the hood cut out, you're just gonna do a straight cut line all the way down the middle. Alright, before we get more into the tutorial, I made a mistake, and I haven't even made like a hood like this very often, but I want to share with you guys that when you choose a fabric for your hoodie, you can see that I chose a very flimsy, thin fabric, so you can see that's like, it folds super weird. It still works, but I'm gonna have to basically seam rip it all out and like make a lining of it. So basically when you're choosing a fabric for your hood, make sure it's somewhat firm so it will hold a good shape. Because yeah, I'm just gonna have to cut it out and put some thicker fabric around it. But anyways, I'm just using this shirt that I thrifted to make my hood. I recommend like an XL shirt to make this hoodie. It just has like the perfect shape for the hoodie, or just like any kind of blanket or fabric will do. But yeah, I just feel like basic crew necks XL work the best. So now I'm gonna line up the like brim of where my hoodie is by my face to this end seam because I like how it has like a nice finish. So I'm basically, there's some buttons right here, but I'm just gonna include that in the hood. Usually you should not try and find like a button up shirt because it doesn't really work very well. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut a straight line from like the hood across, kind of see what we're working with. So I don't have any like exact measurements. I kind of just go up from the top of the hood a little bit, kind of do a slow like decrease down, like a little swoop, all the way to go to a point. I just eyeball this every time, kind of based on the fabric I'm working with. But yeah, you just want to extend the top up a little bit and then do a little like curve down and then make a point. And if you want like a bigger, like longer wizard type hood, you just have to extend that curve to go further and then you'll get a more like dramatic look. So next we're going to flip these pieces to be the outside facing in so we can sew it. And then we're gonna pin just like this top part from the very top of the hood to that point, and then yeah, we're just gonna sew it. So for the sewing machine settings, I'm just gonna put my width to a 1. I want like a little zigzag but not really much of one, and then my length is gonna be 1.5 or 2 because I want my stitches close together so I don't see any holes in the hood. And now I'm just gonna sew that together. Alright, now that we got that sewn together, we're going to turn it right side out, and then we're going to attach it to our sweatshirt. Alright, this part is kind of confusing, so pay attention. I'm basically just lining up where my hood would be on my sweatshirt. I'm kind of seeing where it would be stitched together to make it look like a hood. I don't really have any other good way of explaining it. But yeah, basically I'm going to pin this part right here. And before I pin it all the way around, I'm going to get the exact like part in the back, the exact middle of the back where both the hoods are going to be like pinned all the way around on each side. But this piece is going to mark where they come together, and then that's where the point of the wizard hood is going to start. So now I'm basically just pinning the fabric all the way around on each side until I get them to meet in the back. And before you sew this together, I would turn your hood right side out and make sure it's gonna look good because, like I said, it's kind of confusing. And then you're just gonna sew on the places that you pinned. Now that that's sewn together, you're basically just going to sew one more spot, and that's going to be from the hood to like the point. So I'm going to show you really quick what I'm talking about. You can see that there's like an opening right here. So basically you're going to turn the hood part right side out, and then you're going to sew that gap together. And I'm just adding this little swirl to kind of tie everything together. I'm going to do a more in-depth video about this later on, or if you've watched this video and it's been like weeks, it's probably already up on my channel. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a cute little touch, and I did this to both sides. So that is how I make wizard hoods. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And if you did like this, I'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up, so it helps my video to reach other people as well. See you next week.